Hello and welcome to Sansad TV. You're watching Viewpoint with me, Frank Rausen Pereira. Well, 10 years ago, India launched the Digital India mission to democratize technology access. The mission has achieved remarkable success. Internet connections grew from 250 million to 970 million. UPI processes 100 plus billion transactions annually, and direct benefit transfer has saved 3.48 trillion rupees while empowering MSMEs nationwide. Now, the Digital India mission has truly transformed the nation by making technology accessible, empowering citizens and bridging gaps across sectors. The upcoming Digital India Act can further streamline and secure this transformation, ensuring a future where technology remains a tool for equitable progress. As India shifts from digital governance to global digital leadership, the road ahead requires sustained focus on inclusive innovation and technology solutions that truly empower every citizen. In this edition of Viewpoint, we will analyze the future of India's digital transformation. Joining me on the program today are Jitin Jain, Digitech expert, Loknath Panda, FinTech expert, and Prashant Sharma, Agritech expert. Thank you to my guests for joining me on this edition of Viewpoint. All right, Prashant, let me start the program with you first. Let's understand, because you come from a very crucial sector, a sector that has been the backbone really as far as rural India is concerned, agriculture, and your company deals with technology and is driven by technology with regards to agriculture. How would you look back at the Digital India mission and what kind of an impact and an impetus it has had on agriculture?
First of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity and SLCM to invite in this platform. I will give you a very small perspective, and then I will try to make it understand that how it has impacted in last 10 years. Because we are predominantly a warehousing management company, and in the last 10 years, single unit warehouses have been converted into network of warehouses. Now, what does this mean? It means that not only the warehouses are interacting and creating the real-time data of the stored commodities, but also the space has increased. So increasing that space, erecting the warehouses in just 24 hours, that SLCM has done, and probably other people might also be trying to do the same thing. The commodities that are coming inside and getting stored in warehouses have been increased many folds to provide comprehensive quality check, and during the life cycle of commodity being inside the warehouse, managing the quality. All these have been the challenges that have been managed through technology in the last 10 years. So this is about I have given warehouses, connecting the warehouses and the quality of those commodity which are stored into it. But there's another part to it, that when the commodity gets stored into it, then we need to provide security and safety of those stored commodity, because these are also subject for the collateral management. So providing digital vault kind of facility, where it is GPS enabled e-lock facility, where 24/7 monitoring the more than 20,000 warehouses from a central location. All this cannot happen without technology, without interconnectivity, as you have mentioned in your starting comments. And all this has happened through technology, through internet, through the technology infrastructure, which has just condensed the logistic part of within the warehousing domain through enablement of the technology. So I hope I have given you the perspective.
Absolutely, absolutely. Technology has truly driven, India, and is driving India into the future as well, is what you're suggesting. Let me bring in Loknath Panda into the picture as well. As far as FinTech is concerned, we've seen a big boost, we've seen a big boom really with Digital India coming in and coming through. What kind of an impact has Digital India had on the FinTech and the business side of things?
See, Digital India is a crucial step towards the future of the country, right? Because it is fostering economic growth, improving governance, and also empowering citizens through technology. So we at BLS Services are a flag bearer of Digital India's initiative by taking it to the last mile and also connecting with several entities like banks to take their services to the ground, right? So we have seen Jandan Yojana, which is one of the flagship financial inclusion initiatives, go to more than 55 crore people. It is generating over 2.5 trillion rupees in terms of deposits, saving trillions of rupee in terms of direct benefit transfer savings for the government, as well as providing immediate kind of cash flow to the people in the villages, right? Also, we see a lot of remittances happening within the families, the members staying in a different city, sending money to their families. So we see a lot of growth in the fintech side, the financial inclusion side, and impacting the lives of people in a better way. We are also being able to provide doorstep services of requirements like Aadhaar, requirements like digital life certificate or Jivan Praman, right? The services to the senior citizens in particular to improve their ease of living. So there are various aspects that it covers, and that there has been a good move in Digital India way.
Wonderful. Good to know that, the services have improved, and good to know that we are seeing last mile services reaching everyone really across the board. Jitin, let me bring you into the picture now. You've been listening to the other two panelists as well patiently. Let's talk about this particular aspect of 10 years of Digital India before we look ahead, because the world is changing, the nation is changing, the aspirations of the nation are changing as well. So before we look into the future, let's look at the past decade and see the growth of Digital India as a whole, because you represent a very crucial aspect of the tech world as well.
No, if you take a bird's-eye view of last 10 to 12 years, essentially it's been a story of transformative shift of creating digital infrastructure to digital empowerment. Now, creation and empowerment are two different things, and this government has been able to bridge that gap. Now, you would remember, I think, when the program was launched in 2015, Prime Minister Modi made a remark that Digital India is just not a program, it is a moment to empower citizens through technology. And that was reflecting the vision that it was not only for the urban class or elites, it was basically to serve the last leg of society, bring in their problems on the scale and solve it through technology. Now, if you look in last 12 years, you could divide the entire journey into three parts. In 2015-16, we saw massive investments and focus coming on digital infrastructure, building broadband highways, e-governance, public internet access, connecting all villages to optic fiber and all those things. Once the connectivity was established, I think from 2019 to 2020, that 5 years of half a decade, we saw the real power of technology coming in by scaling up of platforms like DigiLocker, Umang, Cowin, Bheem, ONDC. You took the technology to masses, you created huge digital public infrastructure, Bheem, UPI, and you would be surprised, Frank, by the end of this year, we will have more than 1.3 billion Aadhaar-linked citizens. It is, double than if you combine Europe and America together. You will have 900 million people using internet access by smartphones and PCs anywhere. And then you are seeing this development of India Stack as a global model. And if you look at the journey, the sector which benefited most, where citizens got the benefit, was the government and public services sector, where you have, don't have the exact numbers, but I think 34 lakh crores is the total amount which is saved, not transferred, which is saved from leakages during the direct subsidy transfers. You have seen a trinity of JAM, Jandan, Aadhaar, and mobile, where this thing is happening. In healthcare, if you see, we have almost 2 billion doses delivered through a digital COVID platform. You are seeing Ayushman Bharat mission, where everybody has got a health ID now. And if you look for MSME and startups, which my colleagues are mentioning, ONDC is going to be a game changer. You've already seen 130,000 vendors already onboarded on ONDC, which is basically leveling the field from the entry of rural, small business and entrepreneurs to come online and compete with these big giants. So if you look at overall thing, I think we have had almost 1.2 trillion contribution from digital to our India's economy, which is huge. UPI has got more than 14 million transactions. So this is the story of last 10 years. Then there are future possibilities which will be discussed during the course of program. but journey last 10 to 12 years has been very critical because it has been able to serve the most poor, most marginalized people sitting at the last leg of our society through technology. That is the real.
Absolutely. Okay, I think we have clearly established that the Digital India mission has been a big success. It has been something that has touched everyone's lives and it has truly worked wonders. Now let's look ahead and look at what possibly is going to happen over the next decade or so, because there are new challenges, there are new aspects to deal with, there are new aspects to look at as well. A changing India and aspirational India will need to take things up a notch. So this is where I'd like to bring you in, Prashant, once again into the picture. You know, as far as looking into the future is concerned, what does it look like?
So I think the most important factor will remain same as the food security. That is going to be remain a highlight in the agriculture sector in the next coming years as well. When I say food security, then it not only at the time of production, but during the logistics as well. So food logistics will become the secondary thing. And the third thing will be its scalability and means delivery processes. So all these sectors within supply chain sectors, within the agri industry need to be interconnected now. So in the beginning, I talked about interconnected of the warehouses. Now it needs network of all these supply chain elements as a multiverse universe to bring transparency, to bring reliability and scalability. Just if you allow me, I want to give some numbers because then only we will be able to realize what kind of a number we are looking for or it should look like. So for example, if I am operating 20,000 warehouses at this moment in time, and if I can watch it 24/7 at a central location, what the scenario will be if I have to just double or triple this number. So definitely, are we going to increase the resources, or will be relying on the technology? Obviously, technology. So this is the first thing. Second thing is, with all these things, area is going to be increased. If today the area that we are managing with respect to warehouses 370 plus million square feet, then how much it will be? It will be not more than 5 times of it. So all these things cannot be managed through linear increasing the resources. Technology is going to is bound to be used. Whether we use blockchain to increase the transparency and integrity of the product, agri products, or whether we are going to use delivery mechanism in such a way that it should be agnostic to location, agnostic to country, agnostic to weather, and the delivery mechanism should be such that not only the traditional agricultural commodities get delivered, but also the retail, because ultimately the consumed product is a retail product at most of the time. So all these two altogether need multiverse of agri commodities, and without technology, without technological integrations, the trust mechanism cannot be established. It cannot be made fast. So I think this is the place where we have to, we can see in next 10 years, things are moving forward. Just two more points. Just 2 more points.
Yes, go ahead.
Already India has Government of India has launched 2 online platforms, AgriStack and ULI, which is Unified Lending Interface. These are just at the very beginning stage, and I am seeing that in the next 10 years, this AgriStack should convert into multiverse, which I was talking about just now, and ULI should be part of it as part of lending and empowering the farmers. And along with this, the use of current technology, artificial intelligence and machine learning that we as SLCM Group is right now using for the quality checks is going to be used at massive scale, not only at the granular level of grains, but at the finished good as well. With respect to counting, with respect to checking the quality, with respect to the positioning, with respect to giving information, with respect to the stocking. So all these information will be AI and ML enabled. So
right.
This is my
Absolutely. Okay. Lokal Panda, let me bring you to the picture once again. You know, like mentioned by the other panelists as well, as we go into the future, there are new challenges, new problems that come along the way as well, especially in the banking and the fintech space. We've seen, you know, a lot of ingenious ways in which people are trying to swindle others as well. That continues to remain a challenge, and that is something that we've seen with the digital wave coming through. So how do we address those new age challenges? What is the best way to tackle them, and how do we go into the future?
So if I may call it Digital India 2.0, which is the future, let's say, there are three aspects that we need to cover. One is that we have a large aspirational youth population. There is new emerging technologies, and there is need for innovation and protecting customers' interests, right? So I see the Digital India transformation to lead in multiple ways. One is that currently the digital public infrastructure is fragmented. That there are certain infrastructure created for identity, there is certain infrastructure created for storing documents, there is certain infrastructure created for providing other services. We need to see interoperability among them, and also creating a kind of an interconnected system to have unified customer information, right? So that's for number one. Second is we need to create more a stable framework for cyber security and data privacy, because that's where edge technology advancement is happening. Also, there are issues that are coming in terms of mule accounts, in terms of other forms of cyber frauds and digital arrest kind of issues. So that requires a comprehensive framework to deal with multiple stakeholders to come on a single platform, like banks, NBFCs, other regulated entities to come on a single platform, the exchanges, the security exchanges and other information to come in, so that when there is a fraud that happens, it should not kind of transmit to multiple levels. There has to be a check at some point and recovery at some point, right? That has to be quick, so that the customer interest is protected. The second part is to do with emerging technologies like AI, blockchain. So that has to be used, and also guardrails to be created around use of AI, right? And the third aspect that we look at is, how do we leverage the land record system? Because we still need a little bit of work to do around, automation of land records, creating, blockchain-based tokenization of those, and then creating, funneling it to a unified lending interface kind of a system, right? So that people can monetize their land assets and, further their business, especially in the MSME sector.
Sure.
Right? The third aspect to do with, our large number of young population. We are only employing about 15 million people in the digital sector today. I see we can do a lot more by, further creating digital literacy, creating skilling, and filling the gaps of skills in emerging technology. So these are things that we look at. The fourth aspect that I would like to cover is possibly create a incentive scheme, like we had a PLI scheme or other schemes, to create foundational technologies in India. Today we are still dependent on certain aspects of foundational technology from other parts of the world, and something like a make tech in India, maybe, right?
Right, absolutely. Okay, Jitin, let me bring you to the picture once again. We are looking at deep fakes, we are looking at AI taking over every aspect of our lives, we are looking at all these other new technologies that are emerging, that are coming through, quantum computing also, getting a big impetus across the world. So at a time like this, what kind of a digital India would you like to see?
I think we would focus on 5 sectors in the next 10 years if we have to see Digital India 2.0, which transforms every life from fintech to farmer. And for that, you have to do 5 things. A, you'll have to get AI into governance, where you put AI for policy feedback, predictive service delivery. You would have to focus more on the adoption of digital rupee and CBDC, which is, they've already rolled it out, but it is yet to get adopted. So I think that could be one area where the government can focus on adoption of digital rupee. Obviously, we'll see the new 3.0 or 4.0 version of UPI coming in with, voice payments or, biometricless payments with wearables and all those things, offline transactions. We will be hopefully seeing smart villages in India, where entire 5G and IoT infrastructure is used in digital agricultural, water and, rural sectors. And we would see the emergence of India as a super exporter of digital public infrastructure. That is 5 things I think we are likely to see. But as a society, we must now invest heavily on quantum technologies, semiconductor design, and AI governance. This is primarily to remove our dependencies from the West and China. we should also focus on laws. We have to ensure that our data fiduciary norms are as per the global standard. We have to build trust-based DPI models to ensure that data is safe. We should have some sort of digital lokpal where you are able to resolve problems through a regulator, and the regulator is not bound by the lack of laws, but is able to guide the laws and the future lawmaking. And then I think we must now, being one of the world's largest smartphone population, focus on green digital infrastructure. This is we must have carbon neutral data centers. I think if we are able to do that, I am 100% sure that Digital India 2.0 will transform every life from fintech to farmer.
Absolutely. I think very well put and very well said. It's time to get closing concluding remarks now from all the panelists with what next and the best way forward, starting first with you, Prashant.
So I would say that the impetus that has brought in through the digital movement within India should be taken forward in the same passion, with the same way, and definitely as we need to ensure that the interoperability between the different sectors, between different supply chain need to be explored as well as should be exploited in order to make it a multiverse. So I would say this will be the way forward.
Absolutely. Loknath Panda, your concluding remarks on the program.
Yeah, the Digital India initiative has to be sustained with new strategic initiatives, especially focusing on the socio-economic landscape of the country and creating brighter future for our youth.
And Jitin, close the show for us with your concluding remarks.
I think the first decade of Digital India was about access. The next must be about inclusion, trust, and global leadership. And we must ensure that technology is no longer about screen and signals. It has to be about dignity, empowerment, and digital dreams of 1.4 billion Indians.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me on the program, sharing your views and putting things into perspective for us. I think Digital India has been a grand success, and the next 10 years are going to be crucial as well. So what's coming out of this discussion is that, the Digital India mission has been a big success. It has been a game changer, really, as far as India is concerned across the board. It has helped everyone along the way, even right down at the bottom. What we need is possibly a digital lokpal as we go more and more digital, and there could be more digital issues cropping up. Some form of a digital lokpal will be crucial and will be essential. Digital laws also need to be abreast with the times and made to global standards so that everyone gets benefited along the way. And finally, and most importantly, some kind of a data protection, it needs to be in place, because data is the new gold, and it is extremely crucial that every individual's data is kept safe, secure, and the bottom line being taking everyone forward together towards a Viksit Bharat. That's it in this edition of Viewpoint. This is Frank Rausen Pereira signing off.
संसद टीवी के और भी प्रोग्राम्स देखने के लिए सब्सक्राइब करें हमारा YouTube चैनल और हाँ, इन्हें लाइक और शेयर करना ना भूलें।